When the credits rolled for Supergirl, I honestly felt nothing. And that's what disappointed me the most. Not because the movie is terrible, but because throughout the entire film, it kept showing flashes of something much better, yet never fully reached its potential. Let's start with what I loved. Milly Alcock is absolutely fantastic as Supergirl. James Gunn wasn't exaggerating when he said she could be a generational casting. She completely owns this role, and every time she was on screen, I wanted to see more of her. The biggest highlight for me was actually her backstory. Whenever the movie slowed down and explored those Krypton flashbacks, I was completely invested. Those moments had emotion, they had weight, and honestly, I found myself wishing the movie spent even more time there. And every time Superman appeared, I couldn't help but smile. David Corenswet is a gem. Those moments reminded me why I'm excited about this new DC universe. But unfortunately, that's where my biggest criticism comes in. The movie never allows itself to breathe. Everything moves so quickly that emotional moments barely have time to sink in before we're already rushing to the next scene. I genuinely think another 20 minutes could have made a huge difference. This recent trend of superhero movies trying to stay under 2 hours is becoming frustrating, and Supergirl really suffers because of it. The visuals were another huge disappointment. Woman of Tomorrow is one of the most visually stunning comics DC has ever published. I wasn't expecting the movie to recreate every panel perfectly because translating comic art into live action is incredibly difficult, but I expected it to at least capture some of that magic. Instead, most of the locations felt surprisingly bland, including the final act, which takes place in an environment that never feels visually exciting. For a movie that had over a year dedicated to post-production, I honestly expected much more. The soundtrack also left me disappointed. The trailers used "Call Me," and it fit Supergirl's energy so perfectly that I assumed it would become part of the movie's identity. Instead, the film chooses other songs that, for me, never elevated the emotional moments the way they could have. Lobo was enjoyable whenever he appeared. You can tell Jason Momoa enjoyed himself, but his inclusion felt forced. It almost felt like the story bent itself just to make room for him. And while Krem wasn't exactly a compelling villain in the comic either, I actually preferred his comic design over what we got in the movie. Another disappointment was Supergirl's suit. It's genuinely one of the best superhero costumes DCU has designed, yet she barely gets to wear it until the final act. It's another trend in superhero movies that I'm personally getting tired of. Despite all of this, I'm not losing faith in the DCU. Superman left me feeling hopeful. Supergirl leaves me feeling disappointed, but not because of Supergirl herself. Milly Alcock proved that she is absolutely the right person for this character. If anything, this movie made me even more excited to see her return in Man of Tomorrow. I just hope that next time she's given a script that truly lets her shine. For me, Supergirl is a 2.5 out of 5. Not because its lead character failed, but because a fantastic Supergirl was trapped inside a movie that never reached its full potential.